Before I even start talking about the movie we watch, I want to say this and get it out there on wax. Y'all can comment in the comments however you want, because I'm right. And when y'all start being honest about it and stop being in your feelings about it, you'll realize that I'm right. All y'all motherfuckers who get on Marvel movies and talk about Captain Marvel and the Marvels and Black Widow, admittedly, but all these movies that are so-called mid. Spider-Man Far From Home is probably the most mid Spider-Man movie I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And I will stand on that until I die. It is a boring ass movie.
You're going to be surprised by my comment here. Not only are you correct, but it's not a controversial statement that I hear that often. Like I hear people say
it made $1 billion.
I mean, it's Spider-Man, but most people I hear say you could just skip to when Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield show up and then just watch the movie from there. That's what I hear people say. No,
that's the one with Doc Strange. I'm talking about the one where they went to fucking Europe, Far From Home. Not No Way Home.
Oh, Far From the one when they went to Europe.
The one with Mysterio.
Okay, with Mysterio. Okay.
Honestly, to keep it 100 with you, other than Homecoming, Spider-Man movies have been shaky.
I think shaky's a little strong.
2 was mid. You just said 3 was skippable until Toby and Andrew showed up.
Yeah, but then that part was good.
Shaky. Yeah. But if that's one whole movie and half of another movie, and then one good movie and half of a good movie, that means it's overall mid. It's shaky.
Yeah, I agree. I guess if you say shaky's mid, then yeah, we're in agreement. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I take shaky as like a negative. So it's like less than mid. Like shaky's like, you kind of on thin ice, buddy. Like you a little shaky. I don't see I don't see that
for me,
that.
Shaky is it can go either way.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Like the table's shaky. It can either fall or it can stable out.
I thought the second half of No Way Home was excellent. I thought the first half was it wasn't bad. It was just kind of blah. Like it wasn't bad. It was just kind of blah. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was excellent as Mysterio.
He was. He fucking was. But the thing is, once you know that the fights he's doing, and this is why one of the movies that I might do for Hindsight came up. Once you realize that motherfucker was fucking Syndrome, there were no longer any stakes in the movie. Like the nigga's he's an actor. He's the fucking Mandarin, which by the way, Wonder Man's coming out with season 2.
Yeah, Jeff, did you watch Wonder Man?
Yes, sir.
Could you see it? That's Jeff. That's Brandon. I'm Derek.
Can't say nothing about me. Can't talk about me. I don't do those. I don't do those.
I am disfigured.
This nigga had me thinking he was looking like the Elephant Man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff has been Nick Fury. He should be wearing an eye patch for a while until he heals.
That would have been a good look.
It would have. I would have loved to see Jeff with an eye patch.
You wouldn't.
Looking like he got caught up by a fucking flirkin. So today was Jeff's movie, and I haven't watched this movie in a long ass time.
I've never seen this
long ass time.
I misremembered this movie. I'll just leave it at that.
And it's full of a lot of white luminaries, but at the same time, it is. I had to go back and do some research, ladies and gentlemen. We watched School Ties, the Brendan Fraser, Matt Damon movie that also featured a little bit of Ben Affleck. And for some reason, the nigga from Rent and Star Trek Discovery as the primary racist. The littlest dude had the biggest mouth in this movie. I would have knocked him through his glasses.
Oh, you talking about the boy with the glasses? Yeah, he
Anthony Rapp, I would have pushed him through his glasses. I would have popped out the lens. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? So this movie came out in the 90s, and I had to go back and do some research to see if any of what it was saying was true. And I guess there was a space and time in 1950s where white people thought Jewish people were beneath them.
A space and
I didn't know
time.
that.
It was the entire history of white people until. I mean, it's back
in
now.
America. No, I mean in America, because whenever America talks about Jewish relations, they talk about Germany and the Holocaust. They don't talk about the racism they had here.
You
it's
know
the
how,
same way when they talk about Japan, they talk about Pearl Harbor, but they don't talk about the internment camps. They never talk about the atrocities they do to the people here, homeland.
They had red line. You know, we know about red lines because of black people. They had redlining for Jewish people. That was the thing here. They had redlining for Jewish people and black people.
I just figured that Jewish people got here first or something, and then black people got here, and the Jewish people were like, all right, new player, we're no longer it.
No. And this didn't end.
Somebody take our spot. Y'all got it now.
I mean, it's coming back now, but it didn't end till 30 years ago, maybe. Like,
I never knew that shit, and it's because, in all honesty,
watch All in the Family. See how they talk about.
I didn't know
talk
that
about
because,
that.
in all honesty, I didn't give a fuck. I'm not Jewish, and I don't know any Jewish people like that. So I didn't really give a fuck about, their history. To be honest with you, I didn't really look into it, and I will admit that that's fucked up. But also, my history books didn't teach about it. So why the fuck would I know?
They were redlined with us. So there's you'll hear black people, especially if you look at the civil rights movement, they'll talk about, you'll see a lot of Jewish people like in and around there. Like back in like the 20s and 30s and stuff like that, they were redlined into the neighborhood. So it was black people and Jewish people who were those were the white people with the black people in those areas. Like it was definitely a thing. I mean, it's still a thing, but it's especially a thing in that type of environment that this movie takes place in.
Before we go into the movie, before we go all the way into the movie, I have one more question. One more, not even a hypothetical, one more question. Are Jay-Z's rhymes about his lawyer and about the people who have all the money in America being Jewish people, are they problematic and we're just giving him a pass? I just now started thinking about, as I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking about how he's talking about things that allude to what people think of as stereotypes against Jewish people, right? He has a money-hungry lawyer that'll eat the case. How Jewish people buy up all of America. Here's how they did it. When he's talking about, I think that was the story of OJ, and just little sprinkles that he drops in there that are like, what's that? I think that's a little bit on the border of being just out and out wrong. Am I wrong in that?
Go listen to probably older black relatives or people. It's just a thing in passing.
Don't have diamond selling records.
No, I'm saying it's just a thing that people said. It was just a thing that was kind of accepted. Oh, you made a joke about Jewish people and money. Isn't that funny?
That's a rhyme. You do it all the time. Jay-Z, you should be a poet.
That's what it was. Isn't that funny?
So this movie is about Brendan Fraser, who is he's a quarterback for a school in like Scranton, Pennsylvania. In Scranton, Pennsylvania, he was a quarterback in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Yeah, in the town he lived in, he was the quarterback. They made sure to say that.
What I'm trying to say is, this motherfucker is big enough to be a fullback. He's number 42. How's a quarterback wearing 42? Man, I was just getting so irritated seeing that shit.
Because it's 59. Didn't nobody know how to do shit.
That's what they did back then. Look at Otto Graham. Look at them motherfuckers. By the way, there's a quarterback right now, Brockenheimer from BYU. Last year, I think he wore 47 in college at BYU. They were ranked number 11 in the country. Quarterback was wearing number 47.
I guess, whatever.
So
it's a weird thing.
In Pennsylvania, he's a good enough quarterback in Scranton that when he shows up and he's hanging out with his homeboys at the local Malt shop.
Yeah, malt shop.
Malt shop. This is the 50s. It's a malt shop. Some bikers show up and they're like, hey, why is that Jewish guy in there? And his friends are like, I didn't even notice there was a Jewish guy in here, but your sister should go wash her mouth out because she was just sucking my dick. Or she should wash her hands because she was just jerking me off. Yeah. It was a dick joke, ladies and gentlemen.
When I saw that, 50s, I said, what do y'all have me watching? What is this? Because I'd never seen this movie. I saw School Ties, and when I looked it up, it had like football. And I was like, oh, this is another like terrible sports movie. But this is not a sports movie at all. This is sports is just like in the background of this movie.
Way in the background.
So this motherfucker gets a scholarship to go to a prestigious boarding school for his senior year, which they tell him nobody else ever showed up here their senior year. You know, so
you are
right. So good luck with that. You're showing up your senior year to play football, to be a quarterback. Good luck with that too. He wants to go to Harvard, I think, or Yale. So only two schools them motherfuckers talked about. I either want to go to Yale or I want to go to Harvard. That was it. Princeton. There was no one with any aspirations of anything past those two fucking schools in this school.
Princeton was one of them.
Did anybody say Princeton?
They did?
Dylan. I think so, yes.
It was Dylan. Okay. Dylan was like, because remember, there was one point where he was like, there's other Ivy League schools. And he was like, you don't understand. My daddy and my granddaddy went to Princeton. I got to go to Princeton.
Right. He was the legacy motherfucker. Yeah. And then Matt Damon was a legacy motherfucker at Harvard.
No, Matt Damon was Dylan. He was Princeton.
He was the Princeton one. Okay. Yes. He was a little guy. He's also the quarterback until fucking Brendan Fraser showed up.
No wonder they went and got Brendan Fraser. No fucking wonder. Give me the ball. I got to score. My dad's out there. Okay. Oh, shit. I can't hold on to the ball.
That motherfucker fumbled so badly that I felt bad for him.
Hey, that coach was being real nice. Because, boy, you should not be on the field. Get your ass off the field right now.
So you put him at halfback because he's no longer going to be able to be quarterback, but he was the backup quarterback. He wasn't the starting quarterback.
Hey, yeah, he had to be like second or third string. So it's just like, that's all we got.
He was the backup quarterback. So why do you expect that you're going to start now? You were the backup. If someone shows up if a freshman showed up that was better than you, you know what you'd be? You'd be playing on senior night.
But the problem was the motherfucker never played running back, and the coach is like, "You'll be good at running back."
Okay, I have an explanation for that one, Jeff. I have an explanation for that.
I got it. Go ahead.
No, I have an in-universe explanation for that.
Okay.
The in-universe explanation for that is they ran the fucking triple option.
Bingo. They ain't got too many plays.
So they ran a triple option. A triple option quarterback could be a running back. Your boy, a former Viking, Jerick McKinnon, was a triple option quarterback at Georgia Southern. And guess what he was in the NFL? A running back.
But here's the problem. You know here's the problem with that, Brandon. I see it. I see the background story.
Right.
He's absolutely right. But here's the problem. The actual triple option quarterback graduated. This nigga didn't run no triple option. He ran the bench.
And for the fact that when they see that first scene that they suit up for practice, they go, we got some pass. We're going to work on a pass this year.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
the coach told him, hey, we're going to make you a halfback. Don't worry. You're still going to get some plays in. Very next scene, we're all passes this season. 100%. We're never running. Let's go work on these new pass plays that we have where you block.
No, without your block, he couldn't have scored. And again, you see, my man had to hold on to him and direct him where to go.
That was not a block so much as that. No, Jeff, that was not a block so much as that was Omni-Man picking up Invincible and driving that nigga through a fucking wall.
Man, bring your ass over here. Shit. What is you doing?
He picked that nigga up and carried him into some defenders and threw him at him. Them niggas, it was less a blocking play and more Thor and Loki doing get help.
You know, Me and Shahid, we just did The Rip, and Matt Damon is really good at either you not liking him or you liking him. He's really good at that. Because I was like, oh, I can't fucking stand this little motherfucker. Like he's getting on my nerves. But yeah.
Brendan Fraser, it's good to see him young because he was gone for a while, and then now he's making a comeback. He was in The Whale, he was in Killers of the Flower Moon, Doom Patrol, Robot Man.
Yeah, but in this era, the School Ties era, he was in this. He was in Encino Man. He was in. There was like 5 or 6 movies he was in.
Yeah, he had Next Up. They were basically, oh, you are the next big thing.
I mean, he's a pretty motherfucker back then. Had the eyes.
Oh yeah. I listen. Listen, I get it, but it's like then you see Ben Affleck with no lines. Like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you're in the movie with Ben, and Ben don't say shit.
And like seeing how far he's gone and what he's done with his career. Also Matt Damon too. But like everybody else outside of that, you kind of looking like, oh yeah, I remember you in ABC.
Yeah, because Anthony Rapp, the dude with the glasses, he ended up going to theater. So he was in Rent when Taye Diggs was in Rent and all them was in it. And then he moved over to Star Trek and all that kind of stuff. So all of them did something big, but Brandon got blacklisted for a while there, which is fucked up. What's also fucked up is how this movie features 0 black people.
Not surprising.
But the entire fucking soundtrack is black music. How racist are you really, Matt Damon? Like, do y'all have a problem? Y'all have a problem with Jewish people, but y'all listen to black music, but at some point he says nigger.
He said he's dance like a half nigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's my question to you. Some movies don't need to have black people in it.
This one did not.
If I'm watching a movie from if I'm watching a movie from a 50s from a super upscale boarding school in the middle of fucking nowhere, if they put a black person in there, I'd be like, yo, this shit's fake. How the fuck did he get there?
But he'd be the running back.
How did he get there?
See, I'm glad you said that, Brandon, because I always thought about that. They were just running triple option, and I should have just picked up on it, but I didn't.
Even on the game-winning play, it was quarterback heat.
Yeah,
he said quarterback power.
That nigga threw 2 passes throughout the season, and then the rest of the time he was Randall Cunningham in Tecmo Super Bowl. He was running. So they get there, everybody meets. Like I said, the nigga from Higher Learning is here, redhead motherfucker, as an actual not racist. I was shocked.
Yeah, because you very rarely see him play roles like that.
And when I saw him, I thought he was going to be the lead racist. I hadn't seen this movie in a while. So I just thought, okay, Cole Hauser, he's going to be the lead racist in this movie. Matt Damon's going to be his friend. But no, ladies and gentlemen, the synopsis of this movie could be sewn up into 2 fucking sentences. Matt Damon thought he had a starting quarterback position and a girlfriend, period. He was wrong on both counts, period. School Ties.
Hey guys. Thanks for watching my girl.
I'm not your girl. I don't know who told you that. We just grew up by each other.
I know
family or friends.
But the secondhand embarrassment I had for him, I was like, damn, bro, you just grin and sit there with that cheesy grin.
I'm just like, yo, she had to have told him at least once or twice, I don't like you like that.
Yeah.
I don't like you like that. And he's just like, get out my face. You're my girl. That's how my dad got his wife back in 1947. You just club him over the head and drag him away by their feet. What do you mean you're not my girl? Shut up. I'm the backup quarterback.
Oh, yeah. If it weren't too many people around, I think he would have backhanded her because he would.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. He would have. What are you talking about? You're not my girl.
You're not my girl. You're my girl now, whether you like it or not. So this nigga gets told by his dad, look, Rosh Hashanah is coming up. You have to make sure that you celebrate the Jewish New Year. He's like, all right, Dad, but I got a game that day. His dad's like, what's more important, our faith or that game? Next thing you know, he's at the game.
It's a tradition. Like, I mean, you know what? He was thinking just like a 17-year-old would think. Well, he wouldn't know. As long as I go do it, they ain't gonna know. No matter sun up, sun down, he not gonna know.
So he pulls up to the church afterwards, and somehow was that the principal, the dean?
I think it's like the dean.
It's called a headmaster.
Headmaster.
The headmaster. Okay, thank you. Right now, the only person I know who's called the headmaster is. I better not even say that.
Miss B Nasty.
She would kill me. No.
Hey man, relax.
Yes. I don't know if you've ever seen Cherokee, but no. But anyway.
By the way, Cherokee, Ravens fan from LA somehow.
It tracks. It tracks. So this nigga gets back on the field. Well, he's talking to his friends. The group of guys that are with Dylan already.
Did we skip the Rumble in the beginning and him getting into the school? Did we skip all that? I mean,
Well, that was when he said the girl was jerking him off.
Okay, yeah. So we pretty much got wrapped around it. All right.
Well, yeah, we just didn't mention that it was a big ass fight.
A Rumble.
A Rumble.
Outsiders. Not that bad. They were squabbling though. I give them that though.
I'm just saying this movie was tip top for white on white crime, and I was here for all of it.
And I think that's why it was fascinating me. I was like, "Ooh, white people get down like this?"
No.
Jewish like back then.
Yeah, damn.
Before then, it was the Jewish people and the Italians. Like if you go watch like stories about like the Industrial Revolution and all the terminology that they have for the Italian people, and that they were just the scum people and all this and that. Like, yeah, it's so funny. That's how stupid bigotry is. Like, I think racism is bad, but like, at least you can be like, oh, these people look different than me. Like, if you think about way back in the days, like, oh, I'm surrounded by white people, and then this person with super dark skin comes up. What the fuck is that? Like, that's weird. Like 600 years ago.
Right.
But then it's like, oh, you look just like me, except
bingo.
You think God is different. And then it's like, I hate you. And it's not even that different. It's not even that different.
They did it so perfectly in the movie when Brendan Fraser was like, well, how would you even know? Matt Damon. Like, how would you know? Somebody would have to actively tell you for you to know.
Sometimes you can know. But
yeah, well, yes.
Sometimes you
can. And I don't even want to state it, but sometimes you can.
Look, so
they talk about that.
Y'all say sometimes you can know, but the way you could say sometimes you can know in my eyes is because you've seen somebody before them who fit that characteristic, who was of that religion or that race.
Okay, how should I say it?
But it's weird because Jewish is both a religion and an ethnicity, so it's kind of
that's the wild part to me.
Yeah. It gets mixed up because it's both.
My beloved wife has a cousin who is whiter than the woman or the girl from Imitation of Life. Like, she could pass. She's like Mary in Sinners, my nigga. Like, she could pass fast. But her daddy is black. And I've seen the whole family. And I was like, the fuck?
But Haley Stanfield is
she got white. Black. No, she's biracial.
No, she's not biracial. She's white. What they say? She's 1/8 black. Yeah, she's 1/8 black.
White folks will say that makes her black.
I don't think any white person at any point in their life thought she was black.
I didn't.
I'm sure when they heard that 1/8, they probably ew. She was around me. Ugh.
When you watch Hawkeye, at no point I'm like, in Sinners, they kind of made her look. I don't know if they put a filter on her or something, but in Sinners, I was like, oh, I can see it. But then I watch it in Hawkeye, I was like, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. So maybe it was how they shot her. I don't know.
In fucking Spider-Man, I don't know. All I hear is Gwen Stacy. But when she was playing Mary in Sinners, yeah, she had a different, like, everything to it.
Yeah,
but
it was completely different. I can see it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can never really tell, so I don't assume. I don't see color. I've never had a chance to say that before. Oh, it's the best lie. So
the best lie.
These motherfuckers are in here, his friends. It's Samwise Gamgee, Matt Damon, the nigga from Rent, the racist from Higher Learning, Ben Affleck, the fucking Precept, and a nigga who knows French. Did I get everybody?
Yes.
And they're in a room listening to black music loudly and dancing to said black music loudly when a teacher comes in and is like, y'all need to turn that nigger music off.
They basically who the fuck is you? That's basically what they were saying.
When you say starting off on the wrong foot, nigga, there should have only been one person in that fucking room who didn't know who the fuck that person was.
Right.
All of y'all started here as freshmen. Y'all should know who the fuck that dude is. He's so fucking pompous. Y'all should have known who the fuck he was. But no, all y'all niggas went hard in the paint against this dude. And he turns out to be the meanest motherfucking teacher that all of you have.
Yeah, he was a bit of a prick.
Asshole.
Well, I would be too if I got an opportunity. Nigga, you was talking shit about me? Oh, welcome to McDonald's. Every time you come in here, I'm touching your hamburger patty with my bare hands. Every time. I can't even go to that Waffle House no more. Every time the dude sees me, he only puts one egg in my 2-egg combo. Every time. So he's their teacher. Like the next day they see him and he's their teacher. As a person who took French classes in high school, how the fuck did y'all get the French 4 if y'all don't know how to do conversational French?
What the fuck? Oh, shit. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
But it works. What the fuck? How do they get in the conversational French in their senior year and none of them know how to speak French?
I was
and the teacher tells them off rip. He's like, yo, from this point forward, everything you say has to be in French. Yeah. We do not accept English in this class. You must speak French. Parlez-vous Francois? Do you got that, Mr. Van Pelt or whatever his name was? And he was like, I don't, nah, nigga, nah. Speak French. You've been doing this for 3 years.
I just turned on the game to see the score. I had to tell you this. This is so funny. I just turned on the game to see the score. And on ESPN right now is Papa Shot National Championship.
Oh, I whip people's asses.
Papa Shot National Champion. It's a whole crowd there watching these two dudes. Papa Shot.
I'd whip people's asses. But you know what? Some of them niggas be shooting so fast, it's remarkable. Like I've seen people do some crazy shit in Papa Shot.
They're not even going fast. They just not missing. Like they're not missing a single shot.
Yeah, no, I've seen people get 200 points on that shit. And it's not even the one that goes all the way back to the 3-point line. It's just whoop, whoop, whoop. Like they just have a conveyor belt of balls and they just flinging them up there and getting nothing but cash. But yeah, no. At the point where he tells you got to speak French only, you should be like, all right, cool, because it ain't like you took Spanish your freshman year. Is it?
No, they should be well versed. If they should have been like French 1, French 2,
4,
French 3.
Yes.
French 4, you should be versed by now to hold a conversation.
Well versed. And that motherfucker wasn't even a real teacher. He was the substitute.
I don't know if Buddy in classes got public speaking or being on the spot, maybe up and got him a little rattled. I don't know.
I don't know either. But at the point, you can't tell me that 99% of them motherfuckers ain't been to something that had to do with France. They're boarding house rich. Somebody is tutoring them. Somebody speaks French. So they're like, man, he's a.
It's the 50s.
It's the 50s, man. That motherfucker's a motherfucker, man. I don't know. Hey, let's get ready to go to practice. They go to practice. That's when Dylan gets told that he's going to be the running back, and they're doing all pass plays this year. That coach ran that fucking team like I ran my Tecmo Super Bowl team. God. No punts, no running plays. We're throwing the bomb.
I'm glad you said that shit out loud. Everything makes so much sense now.
If this was 1995, they would only go for 2. We ain't got a field goal kicker.
So
no, they kicked the field goal.
It definitely makes sense why Matt Damon was next in line. He didn't have to pass.
Yeah,
he was just he had to be.
He was all running when Matt Damon was supposed to be quarterback. They ran a triple option, my nigga. When Matt Damon was supposed to be quarterback, they kicked him out the way, put him in the halfback, and did all passes. That's fucked up. We don't know for sure that the season before they did all triple option. We don't know that for sure. We just know that that's what they were practicing until Brendan Fraser showed up. They did that to accommodate Matt Damon's horrible ass arm. As soon as the real quarterback showed up, there was like, fuck that, we're not running.
But they were still running that shit with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, they did. Because that nigga was the size of a fullback, like Jeff said.
Big ass.
But yes, no, there's a million reasons, and they're valid, kind of. One of them is valid, I guess, for Matt Damon to be mad at Brendan Fraser. But that motherfucker goes full on Jason Bourne type levels of anger from the very first time he sees that nigga. Like,
you think anger is being a prick, being a smart ass.
Yeah, being
real snippy with him.
Yeah. Somehow they become friends. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't become friends with my enemies.
Fuck with you. I'll tell you straight up, man. Get out of here, man. You rubbed me the wrong way from jump. Get out of here.
I don't become friends with my enemies. So you know what happened? My roommate would have to fucking choose. Like, you hanging out with him today, or you gonna be in this room? Because I'm not kicking with them motherfuckers. And then while he's in there with them, they start making jokes about, not even making jokes. One of them says they got a new, I think it was a television or a radio or something, and that they got a good price on it. And they said that they racially epithetted the other person down to get a good price. While Brendan Fraser's standing right there. Black people, as a rule, if somebody around you, if you're just chilling, if somebody around you says, look at those racial epithets over there, are you going to continue to kick it with them on a consistent basis if it's a white person?
Nah, I'm out.
It depends.
On what?
I wouldn't do it. I'm saying the people in this situation, if you're in that situation, right, this is your way. To him, it's like, this is almost, I mean, there is some similarities in real life with, it's not the same, but like some Jewish things and black things. But this was, if you made this movie, a black person was so exceptional that this team was like, I got to get him because we got to win. And he was the first black person to ever come to this school, right? It would be the same exact movie. It would just be different. And the white people there would warm up to him, but they would think he's one of the good ones.
One of the good ones.
He's one of the good ones. We okay with him. And they would say, and at some point they would say something too fucked up, and he would remind them that I'm black, and then that's when they would turn on him. That's exactly what that movie would be if it was that.
And that's why I had to go back and do some research, because I was like, is this supposed to be about black people?
No, it's supposed to be about Jewish people, but it's very similar in that way.
But my whole thing was, eventually there was going to be a breaking point. We saw what that breaking point was, but
there's always a breaking point. Yep.
The breaking point was so fucking stupid.
It was funny, but I found humor in it. And when we get there, I'll let it out. Not so much of what he said, just so much they were booty ball naked. And Matt Damon really got his dick in the dirt.
You got to be really mad to fight somebody naked.
Naked?
I probably would have been like, look, see me outside. When we got the shower, we strapping.
Yeah. So somehow these two become, not just best friends.
Real.
They become the friends. They become the friends where every fucking thing. So they go to a dance because they're an all-boys school. They go to a dance with an all-girls school. While they're at the all-girls school,
when they went to lunch and he wasn't there, and they saw him working, Matt Damon saw him working. He kind of just started laughing like, "Oh, look at him! He has to work." So it was always this underlining, like Matt Damon felt like he was better than him.
It was clearly a one-sided friendship that became more and more jaded as time went on. But what I was going to say is when they went to that dance and met Sally, and Sally and Matt were dancing, and Samwise, I guess, told Brendan Fraser that Dylan tells everybody that Sally's his girlfriend, but nobody knows for sure. Like they lay that out quickly. Mm-hmm. He says she's his girlfriend. She says not it. So Brendan Fraser and Sally start dancing. They immediately have sparks for each other. I guess they're like what, 17 and 17 and 17 in this movie. I don't 17. You know. So
they actually did decent casting. Rashanii, you talk about this all the time, but Matt Damon was 20.
They actually all look pretty young in this movie.
So a 20-year-old can pass for a 17-year-old. That's fine.
Yeah, especially Matt Damon's little mousy ass. So they're dancing, and Matt Damon is off on the sideline. Dylan's off on the sideline. Everything that Brendan Fraser talks about while they're dancing is about Dylan.
He's a great guy.
I wonder how Dylan's doing. Dylan's a great guy. Dylan's this, Dylan's that. She's basically asked him, "Are you fucking Dylan?"
But she can tell he feels uncomfortable. Like this, the homie, like.
But it happens all too often.
Yeah, true.
In this one-sided friendship in this movie, it's not just when he's with Sally. He's constantly concerned about Dylan. The motherfucker who the very first thing he said to you was some off-the-wall, uncalled for shit. You want to be his friend so bad. It's like you're trying to fit in with the person who didn't want you. And like Brandon said earlier, where when or was that Jeff, who said that when he was out there serving tables, Dylan was making fun of him or was laughing at him. It's not an even relationship. They're not equally yoked in this relationship. But the person who actually likes Brendan Fraser, Samwise, he never spends time with his family. Never hangs out with him outside of their dorm room, but he hangs out with Dylan all the time. And I was like, that's a bad thing. The first football game happens. Brendan Fraser throws for like 2 or 3 touchdowns and they win. I didn't even know forward passes were a thing in like 1959.
Did you see how happy that we got our quarterback? That motherfucker was lit.
He was over. He looked like the fucking band or the dean wherever Nick Cannon went to school at Drumline. When Nick Cannon came out there and took over the solo, that was the best thing I ever seen. You better keep doing stuff like that. Like
pretty much.
No, they used to sling the rock back then. The all-time passing yards record, it's like 550 yards or something like that by Norm Van Brocklin, and that was like 1952 or something like that. It's still the record since then. They were slinging that thing. Some of them. They either run the triple option or throwing it every time.
And Matt Damon didn't get to take part in either. So they win the game. That's when he goes back and he does Rosh Hashanah and praise. Then they have the dance, and Sally and Matt Damon start liking each other, start feeling each other a bit. So Sally calls him up and says it's his sister on the phone. So he runs to the phone to check to see if everything's okay because he's Jewish. You never know when something bad might happen to somebody in our family. What'd you say, Jeff?
I said when he had got on the phone, she popped up and was like, "Oh, I didn't even know you had a sister." Tee.
Yeah, that nigga was probably like, man, I thought something happened to my daddy.
Right? Like, you scaring the hell out of me.
You scaring the hell out of me with this.
And we do get before that, right after the game when he was praying, that the headmaster came in and was said, they let it be known to the viewer that
he ain't with that
knows,
shit.
He knows that he's Jewish and everything, you know. We just be our little secret. Make sure you sneak back in.
He didn't sign off on this shit.
Was it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, was it worth it? Breaking this tradition. You tell me.
It's a tradition for you, for me. Right?
You tell. I was like, oh, he got a bar.
Because your tradition is hating my people.
Right?
My tradition is throwing for 552 yards. So she's like, yeah, I fooled you. You thought I was your sister, but I'm not. Since I got you on the phone, let's go out on a date. I'll meet you at this place. Nigga, I just got here. I just got to this school. I transferred here from bum-ass Scranton, Pennsylvania. Who do I ask for directions? Because you didn't give them to me.
Isn't there a curfew?
I guess not. Because when he
10.
said,
maybe they just snuck out. Fuck it. I don't know.
No, she said 2. When he wanted to fight somebody, he said, meet me outside at 10.
Oh, no. When they went out on their date, he said, what time? And she was like, 10.
I thought it was like 2:30, something like that.
Oh, because it was dark outside. She was out there smoking and all types of shit. He was looking at her like,
seniors.
Damn, baby.
Right.
Fast.
She was like Michael J. Fox's mom in fucking Back to the Future. Isn't he a dream?
Pretty much. That's pretty much that's pretty much it.
1959, 1955 to 59. Then white women were smoking cigarettes and trying to keep their emotions in check.
You sort of light a cigarette. You knew you was in the time for your time that night. Time of your life.
So they go out, they come back. Football game 2 happens.
13. Man,
before the football game 2 happens, Dylan's brother gets elected for the fucking Hall of Fame for football.
Basically, everybody around Dylan's life is stunting. He's kind of like, I'm just gonna eat some brownies. Whatever the fuck he was eating, I'm hungry. I'm just like, oh yeah, little man on the totem pole. So I get it.
Well, before that happens, they keep having trouble with the French teacher, especially Van Brocklin or Van Norm or Van Pelt or whatever his name is. He just can't get right when it comes to French.
Can't get right, boss.
Apparently, the French teacher's like, yo, I'm standing in the way of you going to Princeton or going to Yale or going to Harvard. Any of the 3 you want to go to, the road goes through me. The fuck you gonna do? I'm like, you got a lot of power for a substitute teacher. I don't like that shit at all.
Right? Like, y'all can band together and be like, look, we have the issue. This was what's going on. Y'all like, this man wilding, man.
Look, he's a substitute teacher. You know what should have happened? Excuse me, Dean, I'm sorry to disturb you, but my name is Dylan. My parents probably gave you like $5 million by now for this school. That's my grandfather's name over there on the library. The substitute teacher that you have in our class, he barged into my room a couple weeks back because we were playing music, and he called it racial epithet that you probably say too, but now he's threatening to keep us out of college, and I don't think my parents will like that. So could you look into it? But nope, this is the 50s where apparently everybody had respect for people who would treat them horribly. Because what happens next is that they have their fucking test. They have a test. And the teacher tells them there's an honor code in the school that they have to sign before every test, because I guess it doesn't keep from test to test. Right? You don't just sign it once.
Once you sign it every test.
Every test. Before they open up that little blue notebook, they sign the honor code. That's a waste of paper like a motherfucker, but go off.
How do y'all feel about that, the honor code?
What honor?
I mean, let's talk about it.
What honor? You know, here's how honor works where we are nowadays. And I don't know back in the 50s, but you ain't going to talk about honor when you're literally treating people like shit. That's not honorable. What honor are we talking about? What are the rules of honorability?
That's morality. That's morality.
Morality is also choosing to cheat or not to cheat. It's honor. Oh, yeah, your honor is tied into what you do or don't do.
That's a good point.
Right?
But I feel like you can be I feel like there are honorable assholes in this world.
I mean,
like you could be mean to people, but like not cheat on your wife, not cheat on your taxes, like do things like that. Like you could be an honorable person.
But more than likely, you doing something. I don't know. Like something's gonna be off. Something's gonna be like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna say you probably right, but no matter what, I don't feel like it has to be what's the word I'm trying to think of? I don't think it has to be revisited every test.
Yeah, like signed at the beginning of the year. This will last for this whole year.
So I'm taking classes again. And for my classes in the syllabus, there's some honor things they talk about, and you have to, type in your name and everything and send it to them, and they keep a record of that from the syllabus. Didn't have to do it for the midterm. Do they think you forgot? Like, and the honor code, I feel like, especially at the end, I was like, "This is some bullshit." But when the teacher was like, I felt like Cole Hauser cheated on this because he's stupid.
That's what he said, basically. That's exactly what he said.
Stupid, but you got a passing grade on this one.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, this shit ain't add up to me.
The math ain't mathing, my nigga. Como talez-vous? And he's like, I guess you're just a good teacher.
Master, he best. I'm gonna study my ass off. Fuck wrong with you?
Get the fuck out of my face. Like, so now we know that the teachers are always down to call out on the honor code, but this teacher is trying to fail one of them no matter what. And when he can't fail him, he has them doing oral exams for their next thing where they have to stand up there and I guess for 5 minutes speak in French. Conversational French. French 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it again. Not that difficult in French 4.
Because I'm going to believe that you were doing at least, I may be lowballing it, but 50% of this in French 3.
Yeah. French 2.
You were speaking pretty much, not a lot of French, not in the whole thing.
When I took French 1 was just, straight up elementary entry French learning. But by the end of French 1, you were doing like 2-minute conversational French. By midway French 2, everything was in French. And also, if everything's in French from the beginning of the year, by the time they got to where they were, which again seemed like midterms because football is midterm time, it would seem that because it's all conversational French, you would start to take it in and start to absorb it in your 4th year of fucking French. But Van Pelt or Van Horn or whatever his name was, wasn't doing as well as the dude thought he should have been doing. So when the teacher kept asking him questions, he wasn't even getting on his helmet like that. He was just asking him questions. And then whenever he mess up, boom, right there, he said back to him, which I guess the teacher's supposed to do when you're fucking up in conversational French. This is the right term. This is the right way to say it. But he gets so flustered that he literally runs out the fucking room.
They couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the pressure.
Au revoir, Monsieur Van Pelt.
Yeah, he's a real asshole with that.
Nigga, goodbye. To your chances of going to whatever school, your chance of whatever. I thought that the nigga was going to harm himself.
Can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
You guys do know that all that animosity that teacher had should have been aimed at Brendan Fraser, right?
Very much so, but he can't because he's the quarterback.
Or either he really didn't know. Well, he had an idea. I think he had an idea who was making those noises, but it was kind of like you say, you are a new hot shot quarterback, so I can't say but so much to you. Mm-hmm. But this one over here, he like the weak one of the group, so I'm gonna pick on him.
So this motherfucker goes back up to the classroom. Van Pelt goes back to the class that night with a bucket. With the bucket.
I don't know. I've always wondered, and I don't understand it. And I thought you guys could help me out with that.
I thought he was gonna hang himself.
That's what I thought.
What
happened? I was very confused by this. Bucket. What happened to him? He was just laid out. Did he take drugs?
That's okay. What I thought.
That what it was? Okay.
He took pills, definitely. But I thought he was going to literally self-harm himself, like slit his wrist and bleed into the bucket, or shoot himself in the forehead, or get up on top of that bucket and fucking hang himself, or something. Did you take the pills just in case? Did you bring the bucket in case you threw up?
Possibly, that's what it might be for, but I'm guessing at that point, would you care? I want y'all to catch me with throw up on me, so I had this bucket here. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I didn't get what the bucket was for. Because then he also, no, because when you first saw, wasn't he like cleaning the chalkboard?
Yes, he was. He first went in there, he was cleaning off the chalkboard while he was saying a bunch of shit in French.
Yeah. Yeah, that bucket thing was weird. Like, when I go out, I want to make sure that the board was clean. I didn't get that. I didn't get anything what that scene meant. Maybe somebody smelled.
So according to, first of all, I'm looking at the trivia on IMDb. Motherfucker's name wasn't Van Pelt. The Van Pelt was a prefect. Van Pelt was Dylan's roommate. That was the roommate's
tall,
name.
Slender dude, right?
Dude who the French assignment was McGivern.
There you go.
And what he couldn't do was a French translation of the poem on seeing the Elgin marbles for the first time. That was the job he had, was to memorize a fucking poem and recite it in French.
I don't think Buddy just wasn't good at public speaking. I think that's all it was. Because when he was in there by himself, he was spitting that shit.
Mm-hmm. It was just he was scared of the teacher. But yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the trivia. It don't say why the fuck he had a bucket.
Then Robot Man snapped on that dude. I thought he was finna get expelled right then and there.
What did you just call him?
Robot Man.
What? He's Robot Man to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Doom Patrol. That's my shit.
Doom Patrol was great. Doom Patrol was so great that once you realize you just got to turn your brain off, that's when you'll enjoy it.
So after that happens, they get mad and somehow they put that nigga's whole ass car in his fucking dorm room like Animal House. I still don't know how this shit happens. It's happened twice now. Once here and once, like I said, in Animal House, they put the dean's entire car into his fucking room. Do they take the car apart? They can't take it's not fitting through the fucking door.
Let's just say that was a lot of work.
Right? How'd they do that? I never understood it. I still don't understand it. It's one of the things that mystifies me.
Like, you ain't wake up to take a piss and be like, man, what the fuck y'all doing?
Don't nobody ever see them carrying a fucking car into the fucking dorms?
Y'all ain't got security?
Shit. Right. So that's how they get their revenge on him, because Brendan Fraser wants to fight that nigga.
Oh, yeah, he want to kill him.
He wants to kill him bad.
He literally want to keep screaming, I'll get you. I'll get you, Batman.
So the next thing that happens is the football game. Matt Damon's family is there along with another family who is alumni of the rival school.
So apparently, all the alumni know David is Jewish because you ever see it, they always giving him the side eye.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. That pissed me off. So this is where Matt Damon's brother gets this is where Dylan's brother gets the fucking Hall of Fame nod for football. And everybody cheers for him, and his dad's an alumni, and everybody's happy, and they're losing because Matt Damon's like, my dad's up there. Please give me the ball. I can get this. I can make it. I can score.
I can do it.
He gives him the ball. He immediately fumbles. They get the ball, and the other team gets the ball, and they score.
Did he fumble or did he bobble? That felt like more like a bobble. Like, oh.
He was scared. That nigga had butterfingers and bubble guts.
He got submarined.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they did hit him first.
Yeah, he got submarine. So he did the flip over and the ball came out.
Mm-hmm.
He got smacked.
And so they come back and score. And the coach is like, why the fuck did you give him the ball?
I'm the coach.
I'm the coach. I told y'all at the beginning of the season, we are 100% passing unless you run. He does not get the ball. David's like, all right, cool. I ain't gonna make that mistake no more.
Do you know how cheeks you got to be at football? But all your homies that's been there for 3 years didn't part a word to you, didn't say nothing to you, and the coach basically he's told you in so many ways, and then once the final realization is, coach calls the plays.
Well, honestly, as we've already seen, Dylan was an asshole. And to be on his bad side meant he was going to do some fuck shit to you. And his family's rich. It probably wasn't worth it for a lot of them folks.
So we just...
they just tiptoed past it.
Okay.
The family who was there with them watching the game was Sally's family. So Sally is there watching Matt Damon fumble as well. And so they're having trouble with the passing game. So David starts running it. They get to like the 5 and then they kick a field goal. So now the score is like 7-3. They get the ball again. And this is the part where Dylan's like, hey, it's like 7 yards for a first down. I can do it. I got confidence in myself. I'm plucky. Give me another chance. David's like, the coach said, don't do it. Dylan's like, man, fuck the coach. Are you my friend? The answer is no, because this is where David picks up Dylan and uses him as a blocking dummy, as a blocking pad, and throws him at the defenders and scores the game-winning touchdown.
Because I'm going to say this. I think he knew Matt Damon may miss this block on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
He did not trust.
He was going to miss that block the way the nigga missed the block on in the program. Halle Berry's boyfriend. He was going to take a dive like a motherfucker. So David picked him up.
He grabbed him like, no, you are going to go in because you're going out on purpose on me.
Later on, Dylan's testimony would sound a lot like a black woman's testimony in church. He picked me up, turned me around, placed my feet on solid ground. He carried him and threw him at them niggas and scored. So they go to the restaurant. Everything is on Sally's dad. Like, dinner's on him. The dean comes over. Dylan expects to be told that they played a great game. He expects to get some sort of an accolade or something like that. Nope. The dean says good job to David. He says hi to Dylan's daddy. And then he takes Dylan's brother to go and meet some people because Dylan's brother just made the Hall of Fame that day. And Dylan's just sitting there looking.
What about me?
What about me, Bob? So Sally's dad is like, hey, let's go dance. And Sally's mom is like, all right, cool. And then she's like, but Sally should go dance too. And Dylan's about to hop up to go dance with Sally. But Dylan's dad is like, hey, I need to holler at you real quick, champ. Have a seat right there.
Sit down, boy.
Have a seat. So instead, David and Sally go dance while Dylan's dad tells him, you had a block that won the game, champ. Without you, none of this happens.
See, that's the start. That's the start of participation trophies right there.
It really is.
That's the start.
It really is. And he's like, I didn't do shit, Dad. And I feel like I ain't shit, Dad.
Yeah, I suck.
And his dad is like, your time will come. It's his senior year. He ain't got off the bench yet. He's like Rudy. I don't think his time is coming. But he gets up, he walks away. He's like, hey, can I go now? And his dad's like, yeah, go. So he goes to find Sally and David, who are outside now dancing. Dylan hits him up with that, thanks for watching my girl thing.
I'm not your girl. Stop fucking saying that shit.
And he's like, hey, you ain't going to embarrass me in front of my friend. Me. And David is like, Sally's like, Brandon, was that The Chronic or The Chronic 2001? Where that woman said, I need to see the doctor. I need to get in. And she's finally like, well, if you open the door, you see his big dick in there fucking somebody.
That's The Chronic.
That's The Chronic.
Yeah, that's Chronic.
That was Sally. Sally was like, well, if you'd open your eyes, you see me and him are dating. David's like, I'm sorry, Dylan. It just happened. Nothing just happened, ladies and gentlemen.
David was trying to say, bro, I've tried to push her away for so long that, it was what it was. Your bitch chose me.
You know the rules of the game. That's
Pretty
it.
Much.
You know the rules of the game. I did everything I could to keep her away from me. She wouldn't go away. Why didn't you lock her down since you've known her since you were 5? Oh, that's right, because you got no game. So Dylan walks back into the building, mad as fuck, ambles up to the bar. Somehow, he's in the perfect place to hear one of the alumni from the other team, one of the alumni from the other school, complain about how David is Jewish. How the fuck does everybody from every school know? Yeah, we could have picked him up, but then we found out he was Jewish, so we just didn't. Oh, that's supposed to be a secret?
Heard the word Jewish, and boy, that goddamn villain smile came on his face like, oh, shit.
Say more. The other dude, the adult that was there with him, probably the dean, or maybe the coach.
Too much.
He was like, you talk too fucking much, bro. Too much. Dylan's like, tell me more, tell me more. So then they go back to the school. They're all in the locker rooms, or they're all in the shower. Dylan decides now's the best time to tell a racist joke about Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
No, you missed it. Hold on, you missed the best part of this entire movie.
Oh, wow. What? Oh, I'm forgetting it.
What's the best part?
When they said, look at Greenie, he can dance. He must be half a nigga.
Oh, yeah.
You had already said it earlier when we were talking about the racism on here, so
that's the best part of this movie.
I didn't even mention it. But he gets back, he tells a racist joke. Anthony Rapp's big ass glasses face is looking over at him. Everybody's looking at him. Brendan Fraser, to his credit, could have tried to laugh the shit off, but he couldn't when Matt Damon walks right up on him and says, what's wrong?
Jews can't take a joke.
Jews can't take a joke. And then they start fighting.
This joke was like the one that was going to be the dig. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to let you know how, you know how we feel, but this is malicious. I'm aiming this directly at you. So
this had nothing to do with him losing his spot on the football team. This had nothing to do with him not being quarterback. This 100% had to do with the girl who didn't like him in the first place, telling him probably for the 11th time that she wasn't his girlfriend, and it finally sunk in.
Oh, shit. You really are not my girl. You've been telling me this for like 3 years. I just ain't been listening.
You don't want to play with my froggy, Demeter.
And you know what? The bad thing about it, she probably had to like play along because he probably do that when the parents come along for 3 years. It's my girl. He's like, oh my God, I wish he stopped saying this.
I wish he stopped saying that shit. And no, they said they've known each other for like years.
So it's probably one of those, I don't want to say arranged, but arranged. Like, oh, you two guys are going to be together once you guys graduate.
Since they were the same age and knowing the 50s, they probably were told from a very young age, oh, look, they got eyes for each other. They're going to be perfect for each other. Mm-hmm. The moms are probably like, they'll get married and then we'll be sister-in-laws because we're already friends and all that kind of shit. And Sally's mom probably went back to their house and was like, I'll just fucking with you. You can do whatever you want. And Dylan's mom probably went back to the house and said, did you hear that? You're going to marry Sally. That's your girl.
Yeah, they never told him, like, bro, it may not happen. He just like, oh, y'all told me and I'm just going to keep riding this shit out.
And it seems like the type of family where they didn't tell him a lot of stuff. There wasn't a lot of checking of Dylan.
No, because like he said, he could never measure up to in their eyes. He felt,
and he was the baby of the family. So yeah. So once Anthony Rapp finds out that this nigga's Jewish, all bets are off. This motherfucker goes full racist. I didn't even know he had it in him. David is serving in the restaurant or in the cafeteria, brings their food over to him. The one person who starts making racist jokes, Anthony Rapp's glasses have an ass.
Yeah, he should have been punched more than once.
Mm-hmm. I may not try and punch Dylan because he's Dylan. I'm gonna fuck you up though. Little man, I'll take you out.
You mouth. That's all you
don't. You definitely look like you can't fight. This like them movies where there's like 5 people standing in a line and they're like, which one of y'all motherfuckers want to take me on? And the biggest dude comes up and is like, I'll take you on. And the dude goes straight to the littlest motherfucker. Was like, did you say something?
You know what it is? His daddy a judge. I guarantee his daddy a judge.
I'm sure it's something. Because that motherfucker came out 100% all in racist. And the funny thing is, his biggest role where he was in Rent, he played a motherfucker named Mark Cohen. Neither here nor there. So they are now no longer friends. They shouldn't have been friends in the first place, but now they're really not friends. Brendan Fraser, David, tells his roommate, hey, I remember what you said way back when I first started here at the beginning of the school year about how you racially epitheted somebody down to get your radio at a lower price.
Mm-hmm. I got the receipts.
If I'm Samwise Gamgee at that juncture, I'm checking the fuck out of you. Why don't you say something then? When it was just me and you, why didn't you say something to me, my nigga? If you routed and about it, why not say something at that point? You don't know how it goes. You don't know what I would have done. And that's actually what he ends up saying to him, but he's like, yeah, nah. But as it turns out, a lot of people, it seems, actually support David in this regard because Cole Hauser, the motherfucker, becomes a racist in fucking higher learning. He's like, hey, I ain't never met a Jewish person before I met David, and I ain't got no problems with him whatsoever.
He was cool with me.
Well, this is just like when folks. That's not exactly what he said.
I mean, he was basically like,
what he said is no. Y'all missed the beginning part. What he said was, yes, I'm an anti-Semite, but this is my first time actually meeting one, and he ain't as bad as they say they are. Right. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
That's what he said.
I mean, he was honest, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So it don't matter though, because when David gets back to his room after almost beating up Anthony Rapp and his one of the other people working in the kitchen with him, like, hey, just switch tables with me, bro. I'll take care of it. Which does that mean that they all know that he's Jewish now?
Yeah, they all know.
Yeah, everybody know now.
So that means that guy was like an ally, I guess. I don't know. Anyhow, because he was like, just switch tables with me.
Or either he was Jewish too. Maybe
he might have been. When he gets back to his room, though, there's a swastika on his wall, and he's like, "Which one of y'all motherfuckers did it?"
What's up?
Can
And
you
I'm still
imagine?
99%
Can you
sure
imagine
that
doing
shit was.
that? Can you imagine doing that then?
What,
Like
putting a swastika
like
up?
people, like if somebody put a Confederate flag up now, that'll piss me off. But it's like, but that shit was like 200 years ago, and it still pisses me off. This was 14 years after World War II ended. These motherfuckers were alive during that shit. They were kids, but they were alive during that shit. They just putting that shit 14 years. That shit's still fresh in his head. And they put that shit. I'm surprised he ain't go even more crazy.
You saw that reaction he had. He was like, motherfucker. Like
That
he
shit
was
was
like,
that shit was 14
livid.
years ago.
He was like, he put up a sign. He was like, well, whoever put that sign up, meet me outside, 10:30.
He knew they were pussies because once they first saw him and saw that like the little black eye or fucked up eye, they were like, "Oh, I gotta ask, were you in a fight?" Yeah,
He calls them all cowards because none of them come out, but they all turn on their lights to look at him.
cowards.
And the next day, he goes to the swimming pool to talk to Sally.
Mistakes were made.
I don't know. I don't know how this works because Sally is literally the cause of all this angst. But somehow Dylan got on the phone with Sally and told her that he was Jewish.
Hey, bitch. Let me tell you about your new mans.
That's probably exactly what it was. Because I mean, Dylan tried to go and talk to or David tried to talk to Dylan after they found out. And she was like, just let him cool off. This will all pass after a couple of days. I know him. So she's the reason why it escalated the way it did. But I'm shocked she took his phone call for him to tell her that David was Jewish.
Or did he go, I gotta come see you. I gotta talk
How
to you.
close is the fucking school? That's my next question. Is this like Morehouse and Spelman? Are they facing each other?
You know what I think happened in the background? Dylan said that the reason, not Dylan, what's her name? Sarah?
Sally?
Sally said, my family and Dylan's family are super close. We just hang out all together. They're always around. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing Dylan told his daddy or his mama, and then they gossiped to Sally's parents, who then said, the fuck, because she said, my mom they were so ashamed of me. She said they'd be rolling over in their grave. They knew it because of what I'm doing. So it came from her parents. So I'm assuming Dylan's parents told her parents, and then they freaked out on her.
That sounds about right.
I can see that. And the bottom line is this. He goes to the pool and she's like, I can't see you no more.
But why?
Wow, I'm the same person I always was. Yeah, a liar.
Oh, yeah, she basically made him the villain.
You didn't tell me you were Jewish. Why the fuck do I have to tell you that?
I literally have to state this when I'm meeting people. Oh, by the way, why?
And I know it's going to turn into a whole different conversation, so let's not have that whole different conversation. But I understand why he wouldn't tell folks that.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
Like there are folks who are LGBTQ who I know who are like, I don't tell folks till I know it's safe. Who I am, what I am, my preferences or anything like that. Because a lot of folks will act like Dylan acted. Mm-hmm. So white woman who was Dylan's next door neighbor and bestie until I pulled up. Why the fuck do you think I tell you? Why do you think I tell any of y'all motherfuckers? I literally just got in a fight before I left my hometown to come to a strange town. I don't know none of y'all like that. Honestly, when he got recruited, I don't know how that came up in conversation. For that other dude from that other school to be like, he's a Hebrew guy. I don't know how that came up in conversation. These are things I think about sometimes. But She dumps him at the swimming pool. So they all are now studying for finals.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan just can't get right when it comes to the history class because the history teacher is literally, he'll say something and he wants you to tell him back what date it happened. I remember teachers like this. In blank, so-and-so traveled the ocean blue. Mr. Jones, when that happened? And just move on from person to person. And that's how the studying happened too. First of all, let me tell you why tests are bullshit. Here's why tests are bullshit, especially testing back in the 90s, early 2000s. Now they'll let you do open notes, open book more often than not. Back then, there wasn't even a fucking study guide. If your class went through the entire book, and somehow you got through the whole book before you got to your final, guess what the final was on? Anything from that whole fucking book. And your teacher wouldn't tell you what it was about. They wouldn't say, oh, we're doing a final based on chapters 1 through 9. Good luck, which would still mean you'd have to read chapters 1 through 9 and try and memorize everything from chapters 1 through 9. You just had to hope. So when Dylan was like, hey, I can't get right with this, and Van Pelt, his roommate, was like, hey, I got it. I'm going to bed, though.
Are your notes correct?
Are your notes correct? Why the fuck you need to know if my notes are correct?
He was too tired to worry about it. He's like, oh, yeah, man, my notes good. Fuck you worrying about my notes for?
So Dylan goes over and opens up this motherfucker's binder and starts taking notes.
Making a little cheat sheet.
On a cheat sheet, on a little crib sheet. I don't think that would have been enough to help him pass. That was a little ass piece of paper.
And he was doing it so happy too. Just like, yeah, I got it down pat.
Lights weren't out, nothing. And I'm shocked Van Pelt didn't see him at that point. But you know what? He saw him the next day.
Uh-huh.
When he was in class, just with his hand literally in a C, like he was hiding something behind his hand.
What the fuck is you doing?
You're obvious, my nigga. Like,
yes. Super.
So apparently he cheated enough to where he felt like he'd be able to get into the next school or in the whatever school he was trying to get to, Princeton, because when he leaves out, he's joking and joshing with his classmates and everything. And he bumps into somebody and the crib note, the cheat sheet falls out. When he's actually cheating, two people see him. Van Pelt sees him and David sees him. When he drops the note, everybody's already left the class. He's the last person leaving class. The note hits the ground. He walks out without it. The teacher picks it up. How the fuck the teacher doesn't know who the fuck did it? I don't know.
Thank you. Or was he leaving it up to the class to let him know who did it?
Because when they asked the teacher what was the fucking handwriting on it, that we all watched Dylan write this shit, use his handwriting to write this shit, he said it was written in block form, so I can't tell whose handwriting it is.
A word. Word.
I think the teacher was just scared of Dylan.
Possible.
I think the teacher wanted the other students to rat out Dylan so he didn't have to, so it wouldn't fall back on him.
No, he was testing them on the honor code.
Yeah, cool, great. But you know what? You don't even got to test him. They already signed the paper. The signature that he signed on the honor code looks just like the answer to question number 3 on this fucking crib sheet. Open and shut case. You're the last person walking out the class. This paper wasn't on the ground when everybody else was walking out. It was just there when you walked out because the teacher's watching them walk out the classroom. But he's like, calls them all in on a fucking Saturday. I wouldn't have shown up. I'm not showing up on a fucking Saturday. And I think that's what happened with Van Pelt. Because Van Pelt, was he in the room with them all when they were trying to figure out who cheated? Doesn't matter. Because David does the thing.
But
David does the thing that I get mad at in every fucking. I got maddest at it in Oz. Brandon, do you know what the thing was?
No.
The thing that David did was David went in an empty room where it's just him and the perpetrator and tells this nigga his plan in advance.
I'm going to tell everybody.
I'm going to tell everybody you did this. I don't care what you say. I'm going to tell. You don't tell them in private, my nigga. One of the things I had the biggest problem with in Oz is that these niggas will always tell the person their entire plan and then be shocked when the person kills them.
David did it, huh?
Huh? What? No, I was going to tell y'all that he did it.
And then you just look crazy.
He said it first, but I was going to say he did it because he did.
But he did it. Even when he said it, everybody was kind of like, huh? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, nobody believed Dylan.
Plus, no, nobody believed David because you know what? You're kind of Jewish. And that was their whole reason for it the whole time. We've known Dylan for years, but David is kind of Jewish.
Yeah, I don't think they ever believed Dylan. I think they were basically like, but we not about to turn on our white boy.
Yeah,
for this Jew.
Yeah, we'll throw you under the bus, but we don't believe him.
So they're like, hey, we're going to vote on this. You two got to get out. And when they get out, that's when Anthony Rapp goes full racist. Like, yo, I know to never trust a Jewish person. Basically, anytime Anthony Rapp says something and somebody tries to run up on him, that was Ben Affleck's whole role in this movie was to be Anthony Rapp's fucking bodyguard.
Yeah. Let me pull you back. I don't have no lines, but fuck it.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole goal. One of the students goes to ask the teacher, Mr. Girash, if he knows who did it. And the teacher's like, nah, it's up to y'all.
I'll figure this shit out.
This is my Saturday. Does everybody live on fucking campus?
Yes.
No, I mean the teachers.
Yes.
How the fuck you go ask a teacher about it?
We know he lived on campus because he came to their room saying they was loud as shit earlier in the season.
No, that was the French teacher that came to their room. Oh. So yeah, he definitely lived on campus, but everybody in the school lives on campus. That's fucking weird.
Free rent.
I want to, does my wife live on campus?
If I teach here, I get to live here free.
Right? No, I'm cool. I live right around the corner. My nigga like shit. Having a poker night tomorrow. I want to be here. Kids be farting and they sleep. It stinks in here. It smells like armpits. Little like fifth graders here too. I don't want to deal with these little ass kids. Fuck you, I'm going home. So they're all like, yo, we don't know who did it, but we do know that David's Jewish.
You know how we feel about them.
And that's when Cole is like, you know what? I'm anti-Semite, but he's one of the good ones. I ain't never met one before. And if they're all like him, I ain't anti-Semite no more. So when his child got older and started asking him about racism, he didn't tell him nothing about the Jewish people, but he had a lot to say about the black folks. So when his son went to college, do it for the nation, Remy. David and Dylan come back in there and they're like, yeah, we voted. It was a secret vote. We voted for you, David. You're the one who cheated. You're the one who broke the honor code because you broke the honor code by not telling him that you saw him cheat in the first place. So David stands up and in his Brendan Fraser most aggrieved face, he says, fine. I'll go there and lie.
Pretty much. Oh, good.
Cool. Because we was worried that you wasn't. And so he goes to the dean. Mr. Girash is in the room. The dean's in the room. The coach is in the room. He's like, you know, I did it. I cheated.
No,
and
you didn't.
They're like, no, you didn't.
You're an upstanding young man.
And that's when Van Pelt stands up and is like, he's my roommate. I saw him cheat. I saw him take my notes. Bitch, where the fuck were you when we in class?
Man, listen, man. This is the
That
white
guilt.
hero complex. Never saw it.
No, I don't know if it was white hero. I thought it was just
I'm
guilt.
just, he just wanted to do the right thing. Okay, cool.
I don't even know if it's the right thing. I think that guilt was eating him up.
It
But
ate him
also,
alive.
But if
It
he
ate
lied-
him alive for a whole ass weekend, my
But
nigga.
if he would have went along with it, he knew that when they signed for the honor code, that his honor would have been, you know what I mean? Because he know what's going on. I saw him cheat, so how am I sit here and let this man go and do this shit?
How you gonna let him blame it on me though? How you gonna let him sit there quietly? The honor code.
You should do this shit in front of everybody.
And like I said, I think he's a fucking prefect. I think he's one of the student teachers, like one of the head boys in the school. You failed miserably, my nigga. So David is like, hey, am I gonna get in trouble for not saying anything during the honor code thing, for lying, basically? And he's like, you're not gonna get in trouble, and Mr. Van Kelt's not gonna get in trouble. But we want to thank you for what you're doing with this team. And that's when this nigga gets sanctimonious for no reason.
Was it really for no reason?
Yes. In this instance, it was no reason.
It took some real cojones to say that at that moment.
I'm using you.
I'll use you. You use me for football. But
You'll use me for football, and I'll use you to get into Harvard. But we're using each other.
Ending scene.
All right. Is that no? What I mean, yeah, it was sanctimonious, but also it ain't that deep, my nigga. Like, you didn't have to. You're using me, and I'll use you all the way to Harvard. Okay. Like, everything he said, I'll lie. Okay. Doesn't nobody fucking care? Look, he's using me. He's using me. Nobody fucking cares. Go. Look, it's the best case for you. We don't have to fake any more running plays anymore. I'm doing this for you, son, and the coach, but mostly you. Tell me we're using each other. Get the fuck out of my face. And so he goes out of the fucking... He walks out the dean's office, and somehow Dylan is already in a car right in front of the dean's office. Like, they expelled him and told him, wait here.
He wanted to get his last dig in. He said he probably told his driver, wait here.
Wait right here till he comes out. I've got words for him. You know what? No matter what, I'm still going to go to Princeton, and you'll still be Jewish. Yeah, like, okay.
He's like, all right, I guess. But you'll
I'll
still be a
take it.
prick.
I loved you, Dylan, and this is how you treat me, basically. Yeah, okay. Everybody's using everybody here. And if you're still going to go to Princeton, then did any of this even fucking matter?
Yeah. At this point, you're just basically saying you're going to get into Princeton pretty much by pay. Yeah, we're gonna get you in, but whatever. We'll throw some bread at them, you'll get in. So yeah, there's that.
Basically, if McGivern is still gonna get, and somebody says it, I think it was Samwise Gamgee says, McGivern's still gonna get in the fucking Harvard. He just ain't gonna be back here. Does any of this matter? There's no stakes in this movie. At least the shit they were doing, it was kid shit.
No, the stakes is David going to fucking snap and blow his opportunity?
Yeah, right.
That motherfucker was not gonna snap at all.
He kept it together to that last joke, and then in the shower.
That's the end of the movie.
That was Cool Ties.
That's the movie.
And that was it. Very, contained movie.
I enjoyed this movie. I had never seen it before.
It's enjoyable.
It's just
It's a TNT movie. If this movie came on TNT, it would have been this movie and Toy Soldiers would have came on back to back.
You know what this movie? You know what this is? And I don't think it needs to be 2 hours, but this is the after school movie.
After school special.
Yeah, this would be after school movie that came on.
Well, my nigga OG Readmore. Brandon, you know about OG Readmore, right? He was a cat, like ABC. How you know and love everything from the 80s and 70s, and you don't know my nigga OG Readmore?
The only cat I know is Felix.
You didn't even know the cat from Opposites Attract? Damn, Brandon.
You know what, Brandon? You out of pocket again today. What is wrong with you?
What?
You couldn't say Garfield. You say Felix. Man, don't play stupid. Stop.
Yeah, Felix and Heathcliff. Those are the two cats I know.
Captain OG Readmore is a fictional anthropomorphic cat puppet who hosted the ABC Weekend Special in the 1980s.
Hey, do y'all okay? I might want to do this for the show, but I don't know where we are finding it. It's a movie, and you guys can tell me if you don't remember. It's a movie with different strokes. Arnold, what's his real name? Damn, what is his real name? I'm getting old. What's my man from Different Strokes name? Well,
which one?
The little short one. The short one.
Gary
the main
Coleman.
star. Gary Coleman. There's a movie with Gary Coleman, and he was a little kid just around starting fires for some weird reason. It's a lot of black actors in the movie, but I can't think what it's called. He was starting fires, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't remember this movie. I saw it in passing, like on one of the social media sites, but then I was like, I gotta find this movie.
I never.
God, I vaguely remember seeing it when I was younger. So he just out here just starting fires like he Firestorm?
Playing with Fire.
Playing with Fire.
Came out in 1985.
Oh my God.
A movie about a pyrotechnic?
Starring a not-so-young Gary Coleman as a teenage arsonist. The authorities, friends, and neighbors warn his absentee parents until it's too late. The fuck? The story was weak, and Gary's acting wasn't that great. I thought it was funny that everyone seemed to know that Gary was in the area every time one of these mysterious fires started. This one is up there with the Star Wars holiday special, only not that bad.
Not that. 1985.
People have said this film is unintentionally hilarious and preachy. Just another disease of the week TV film.
Damn. They going in on 85, and this is what they were saying at 85 about it?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Also, if this came out in 1985, he was 17.
That sounds about right.
So, Brandon, what's the next movie?
Well, I'm going to give y'all a break from my typical type of movies. Just because you guys deserve a little bit of a break. We'll be back next time around.
Honestly, I just want to break in and say you were supposed to do deep cover when this nigga said he had never seen Baps before, so you did Baps. So you were on your way to righteousness, and Jeff.
Wait a minute, man. I ain't had to catch that straight. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I got it on tape. It's on the podcast. You saying I've never seen Baps. And Brandon saying, well, then we'll watch Baps.
But I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm glad you watched it too. But I'm saying we were on our way to deep cover back then. So what's the movie, Brandon?
We'll be back on the movies. I told you I have separate lists. We'll be back on the movies that make y'all mad lists next time. This time we are doing.
See that, Jeff? Jeff, you see how he literally has a movie list that'll make us mad, and you tell me that he's not like the podcasters that I was talking about earlier, the ones who are just there to pick and prod and all that kind of shit.
I'm there to make good content. That's what I'm there for. Good content.
I mean, the Baps episode did like it did nicely. So
I'm trying to tell y'all. The next movie we're doing though is from 2000.
Oh
Memento.
It's a good movie.
Oh, buddy. I used to love that movie. It's been a while since I watched it.
That's the one where the nigga tattoos himself, right?
Yeah, kind of remember.
And has the post-it notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I saw that. Guy Pearce.
Memento.
That's a good movie. Was that on my list? I don't think it was. All right. Well, Memento.
That's technically hindsight, I think. 26 years, that counts.
Very much so. Yeah, I'll take it.
Getting back on track.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, Brandon. I'm scared of what's going to happen next, but I'm proud of you.
Oh,
it's streaming
I'll tell you, it's going to be one of these 6 movies.
Here we go.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
We already did that one.
Oh, we did? Okay, that's off the list.
Thank you.
All right, so it's one of these 5 movies. Max Steel.
God, no.
Pluto Nash.
Why you like this?
Catwoman.
Jesus.
Super Mario Brothers 93.
This shit's getting worse.
Or Problem Child 2.
Problem Child 2. Top. Yeah, I hope that was the number 1 because all them other ones are, ugh.
So
it's going to be one of those 5 movies.
What Brandon is saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that at some point, I'm just going to start choosing all the movies. And we're going to go back to how it was when we would do months of one type of actor and do.
So, the week you pick one of those movies, just know Playing with Fire is going to be, because it's on YouTube. We will be watching that. What's that? When you start something, Brad, I don't think you want to start. Because you know that list is shitty.
I mean, the list, that's just, I have 26 movies on that list that I keep adding to. That's just the 5 that I'm choosing
Why
from.
you keep adding to this list?
I have a whole list. Movies that make you mad, animated movies, black movies, 2000s movies, 90s classics, 80s classics, and then I have 70s.
So with those movies, those 5 movies you picked, right? If you do choose like 3 of those movies or 2 of those movies, we need to see, we really need to watch those numbers. Because I want to see if you picking those numbers are really traction. Like, oh yeah, I want to see.
Here's my thing. You pick these repulsively bad movies and then you want me to talk seriously about them.
No, I don't.
Like you're literally triggering me to have to, but it's like there's nothing that can't be said that hasn't already been said about a movie that is this bad. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. How many people have reviewed Pluto Nash?
It's Eddie Murphy. I'm sure there's a lot.
I mean, Pluto Nash is kind of like, you know if you know.
Undercover Brother is on that list.
Undercover Brother is great. That's fantastic. Goated.
Oh, I thought y'all would hate that movie. Okay, I'll move that to the black movie
Undercover
list.
Brother? What is wrong with you? Stop playing. See, yeah, I know you trolling with the comments now.
That is on that list. I'll move it to the black movies list.
Nothing would ever make you think that I wouldn't like Undercover Brother.
I mean, it's a ridiculous movie.
But it's great though.
I think RoboCop 2 is on that movie, on that list. Or 3, RoboCop 3 is on that list.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say you had 2 on there. I hate that little kid in that movie. RoboCop shit just shot him.
Nah, that wasn't the issue.
Barbed Wire is on there.
The issue with RoboCop 2 was the fact that not only was that smarmy little kid on there, but then he got that robot hooked on dope. You have a dope head robot.
Murphy was in the blender.
Barbed Wire with Pam Anderson's on there. No Holds Barred.
I'm not gonna say
No Holds Barred with Hogan and Tiny Lister is on there. Those I'm not choosing. I'm not choosing from them. They're just on the list.
They shouldn't even be on your list. That should be like, no. Now, honestly, I can have fun with No Holds Barred because that's just a movie that just keeps on giving. But knowing how he
is on that list.
Who?
Waterworld. You remember Waterworld?
Waterworld? Oh, I'm out. That's gonna be a big no for me, dog.
So basically, you went and found movies that are literally so bad that they'll hurt to watch. And you want me to do them on my podcast?
No, they'd be fun to tear apart.
I have to watch them first. I can't just be like, yo.
I'm not doing all of those movies. I just said they're on the list.
You have a list.
Yeah. I'm going to pick a movie from that list every so often. Every so often. We're never going to get through those movies. It's just I'm going to pick something from that list every so often. The Flintstones is on that list.
Thank you all for listening. This has been Hindsight. That's Brandon. That's Jeff, and I'm Derek. We'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be good.